The gallows grin, the conclusion. The saloon fell silent, the acrid smell of gunsmoke hanging heavy in the air. Jeb Stone, his gun still smoking, stared in disbelief at the two bodies sprawled on the sawdust-covered floor. Quick Draw McGraw, the man he'd come to kill, and the grizzled old codger who'd put a bullet in McGraw's back. But it was the third figure, the one who'd dropped the old man, that had Jeb's gut churning like a twister in a gully. This newcomer was a woman. She stood motionless, shrouded in the shadows, her face obscured by a wide-brimmed hat. The only thing visible was the glint of moonlight reflecting off the pearl handle of the Colt Peacemaker in her hand. "Well, I'll be a horse's patoot," Jeb muttered, wiping a trickle of sweat from his brow. "This here's getting a mighty interest in the dot." The woman stepped forward, her boots clicking on the wooden floor. Her voice, when she spoke, was low and husky, like a desert wind whistling through a canyon. "You got a heap of explaining to do, mister," she said, her words laced with a chilling drawl. "You and McGraw both." Jeb, never one to back down from a challenge, let out a dry chuckle. "Now hold your horses, little lady. Seems to me we got ourselves a misunderstanding here. I was just about to settle a score with McGraw, same as that old geezer." He jerked a thumb towards the dead man. "Nothing personal, just business." "Business? Who?" The woman scoffed. McGraw was more than just business to that old man. He was his son. Jeb's eyes widened. "Son? Well, ain't that a kick in the head?" He scratched his stubbled chin. "So, who might you be, darling? Another relative looking to join this here family reunion?" The woman's grip tightened on her gun. "You killed my brother, Jeb Stone. And now, you're gonna pay." A collective gasp arose from the onlookers. Jeb's reputation as a liar was well known, but nobody had ever pegged him for a killer, let alone a kinslayer. "Whoa there, sister," Jeb stammered, his bravado faltering. "You got the wrong hombre. I ain't never laid eyes on your brother." "Don't play coy with me," the woman snarled. "I know you gunned down Jesse in cold blood over in Tombstone. He was just a kid, trying to make a name for himself. But you shot him in the back, like a coward." The tension in the saloon was thicker than molasses in January. Jeb felt the eyes of the crowd boring into him, their judgment palpable. He knew he had to act fast, to regain control of the situation. "Now listen here," he began, but the woman cut him off with a swiftness that belied her calm demeanor. Faster than a rattler striking, she drew her Colt and fired. The shot echoed through the saloon, and Jeb staggered back, clutching his shoulder. He let out a howl of pain, his eyes blazing with fury. "You little—" he growled, reaching for his own gun. But before he could clear leather, the woman fired again. This time, the bullet found its mark, tearing through Jeb's chest. He stumbled, his legs giving way, and crashed to the floor, his lifeblood staining the sawdust a crimson red. The woman stood over him, her gun still smoking. Her voice, though still low, carried the weight of a judge's gavel. "This town ain't big enough for the likes of you, Jeb Stone," she said coldly. "Now, you got all eternity to explain yourself to the devil." She holstered her gun and turned to face the stunned crowd. "This here's over," she announced. "Anyone got something to say about it?" The silence that followed was deafening. Nobody dared challenge the woman who had just single-handedly taken down two of the most notorious gunslingers in the territory. With a final, defiant glance at the fallen men, she turned and strode out of the saloon, disappearing into the night. The legend of the mysterious woman who avenged her brother and Quick Draw McGraw was born. If you are enjoying adventures in the Old West, hit the subscribe button for future post. Oh, by the way, why didn't the vegetarian cowboy complain about anything? They didn't have any beef.